If you're in a relatively new or uncommitted partnership and are already experiencing a lot of intimacy collisions, psychologists advise you to think long and hard about whether you want to make so many concessions in order to be with this person. Intimacy collisions are due to those with anxious and avoidant attachment styles, either smothering or avoiding their partner's emotional intimacy-wise. Although psychologists recommend anxious or avoidant individuals couple up with a secure attachment style person to have a safe, secure base, this match can be more beneficial for them and emotionally draining for secure. This match may not be necessarily healthy and growth-oriented for a securely attached person, and so their best shot at a satisfactory relationship would be to couple up with a securely attached person. Here are some ways in which the different attachment styles react to their partner, as listed in Levin and Heller's book, Attached. First, we will go over secure attachment style. They are reliable and consistent, make conscious decisions with you, have a flexible view of relationships, communicate relationship issues well, can reach compromise during arguments, are not afraid of commitment or dependency, doesn't view relationship as hard work, their closeness to you creates further closeness, they introduce friends and family early on, they naturally express feelings for you, and they don't play games. For instance, avoidants tend to avoid conflict and use space during conflict, tend to shut down and stonewall during conflict, tend to minimize intimacy by using emotional distancing strategies, like being a workaholic and not clearly communicating their needs in the relationship. They send mixed signals, value his or her independence greatly, devalue you, use distancing strategies, emotional or physical, emphasize boundaries in the relationship, has an unrealistic romantic view of how a relationship should be, mistrustful, fears being taken advantage of by a partner, has rigid views of relationships and uncompromising rules, during a disagreement needs to get away or explodes, doesn't make his or her intentions clear, leaves you guessing as to his or her feelings, has difficulty talking about what's going on between you. Anxious attachment style. They want a lot of closeness in the relationship, express insecurities, worries about rejection, unhappy when not in a relationship, plays games to keep your attention and interest, has difficulty explaining what's bothering him or her, expecting you to guess, acts out instead of trying to resolve the problem between you, has a hard time not making things about him or herself in the relationship, lets you set the tone of the relationship so as not to get hurt, is preoccupied with the relationship, fears the small acts will ruin the relationship, believes she or he must work hard to keep your interest, suspects that you may be unfaithful, they fight or fawn. Fawning shown through obedience, people-pleasing, self-abandonment, adapting in order to attain connection. Fearful avoidant, or in other words, anxious avoidant, they want genuine connection, but fears it will lead to rejection, abandonment, neglect, or in some cases, even abuse. They enter into relationships only to frequently find themselves halfway out the door, mentally, emotionally, and often physically, too. They have aspects of both the anxious and avoidant types, which is why this attachment style is coined anxious avoidant or disorganized. This pattern makes relationships extremely difficult, as genuine connection struggles to be made when our conditioned fears block us from truly giving and receiving love. Since they fundamentally all differ in their view of intimacy and togetherness, the way to spot one's attachment style is to look at the way they deal with conflict, their attitude towards sex, their ability to communicate their wishes and needs, and their expectations from their partner and the relationship. You would look at these aspects to determine whether someone has insecure attachment style or secure attachment style. If they are insecurely attached, you may accept their nature as is or encourage them to seek therapy and shift their fears towards security.